Hello and welcome to the book reading series for Beauty Secrets for Your Soul Golden Angelic Wealth Codes. It is a novel by me, Michelle McMillionaires, and rich guy. Uh, he has been detained with some other dynamics in his life, so um uh I'm flying in solo to wrap up part uh this is part 6, section 2. All right, this is all about the marriage. So much fun. All right, and uh for those listening, we're just gonna go ahead and dive right on in to section 2, part 6. Now, as a more pleasant surprise, the weather turned out to be a perfect 80 Fahrenheit degrees and sunny on their wedding day of blissful ceremony. So all 900 guests were appearing super well dressed and fed beforehand, and then were ushered and seated properly as they all walked upon a sapphire blue wide carpet. Now, all while Catalina and Antonio were getting hoisted upon the royalty dressed elephant for the grand entrance as the big surprise. They both look splendid with their choices of wedding attire from Paris, France. There were 5 bride ladies and 5 groomsmen set on the stage already, with both the priestess Helen and priest Leroy, and a mini orchestra of sacred musicians, uh, tall, beautiful beeswax candles, and fresh jasmine flowers everywhere. A sapphire blue and white were the main colors for this grandiose wedding stage event. Now, Catalina's birth parents walked along one side of the elephant while Antonio's royal birth parents walked on the other side of the elephant. So Antonia's brother Geoffrey was placed as one of the groomsmen on the wedding stage. No cell phones were allowed for private video, uh, taking videos or photos, as that was all being handled professionally by a team who were live streaming the event for those who were unable to attend in person. Plus, all guests would receive a professional video and photographs afterwards for their own their own reflection of the wedding. Now there were also extra luxury modern restrooms, no outhouses, uh, custom built specifically to handle all 900 guests and event staff that served the guests. As the music played and gasps of "Oh my goodness!" and jaw-dropping smiles everywhere when Catalina and Antonio made their grand entrance upon the royal elephant, along with the parents on each side. Now, everyone could feel the air was filled with so much joy, energy. Both parents took their positions, and Catalina and Antonio slid off the royal elephant safely. Then the sacred royal wedding vows began. Now, little did Catalina know there were two more wowzers, surprise, to arrive. When it was time for the wedding band rings to be delivered, a special set of exotic birds were flown in above by professional bird trainers, and a gorgeously trained white pigeon flew the rings in and dropped them into the hands of the priestess Helen and priest Leroy. So Helen handed the white silk pillow with Antonio's wedding band to Catalina. Then Leroy handed the other white silk pillow with Catalina's wedding band to Antonio. This was a huge kept secret from everyone except Helen, Leroy, and Catalina's parents, who arranged the beyond magnificent surprise bird flying wedding band ring delivery. The secret was held so well that at the rehearsals for the wedding day, the parents of Catalina and Antonio handed them the silk pillows with the wedding bands. So everyone was flown away with such awe of the winged one delivery dropping of the rings. Now, as the vows wrapped up, a large projector screen popped up from behind the wedding party for everyone to view. This was a super secret being held back by Antonio and his royal family until the actual wedding event. What it stated was Antonio asking Catalina if she would remarry him again in the future with another proper wedding ceremony on their first wedding anniversary. And every wedding anniversary thereafter for the rest of their lives. Now, tears and joy were streaming out of Catalina's eyes, and from the wedding party and all guests with this gesture, gesture of pure lifetime loving commitment being extended from Antonio. Every guest attending the event was privately thinking, gee, I hope I get invited to their gala event next year, too. And Catalina jumped for joy by leaping into and the arms of Antonio and said, yes, to being married again next to next year too for their first anniversary and every anniversary thereafter. Shortly after the ceremony ended, the wedding party was escorted to their dining tables along with all guests. Now, this was a miracle sight to be seen, with so much luxury around and over 900 guests being served. Custom musical playing, dining dishes of plates, bowls, forks, spoons, and chalice drinking cups were designed with state of the art healing technology, and all wedding guests and staff were given them as gifts to take home after the week-long wedding celebration. What these special mealtime dish sets were made of is pure crystal quartz combined with Sedona red rock, 24 karat gold, and then specifically tuned to the 5 to 8 love hertz frequency. Now, what the alchemy of these mealtime dishes did was activate and play very much like traditional singing bowls that sacred musicians play. And there were sacred musicians floating all around the entire huge dining area to teach the wedding party and guests how to utilize their special musical dinnerware to activate their food on their plates, bowls, and cups with their own spoons and forks. Now, when a guest would utilize their spoon around their dinner plate, a pure crystal quartz, Sedona red rock, and 24K gold that was already pre-tuned, it would activate the 5 to 8 love hertz frequency sound waves into the food served on their plate or inside their bowl or chalice cup. Now, this served as a musical healing prayer with the food everyone was enjoying very much. The entire dining room of over 900 guests was a music calamity of 5 to 8 love hertz frequencies being played all at once while everyone was learning how to musically play with their own mealtime dishes. Plus, when they all learned that they get to keep and take home their own mealtime dishes back home afterwards to continue their own journey of loving sound vibrational 5 to 8 frequencies, and these are, love, hurts, frequencies being blessed into their own family mealtime gathering. The guests were beyond appreciative. Now, each dining table had beautiful layers or layouts of fresh, organic, exotic fruit plates with edible flowers and a variety of healthy vegetable plates and dipping sauces for hydration, fresh distilled plain water with added trace minerals, sparkling mineral water, teas, and fresh juices awaited them. Now, servers were assigned to each wedding guest table to ask each person what they wanted for their main meal of choice to be brought to them accordingly to if they were a meat eater, vegetarian, or raw vegan. So there were no complaints whatsoever because most of the guests were still processing on what a gala event they were they experienced during the wedding ceremony and the musical mealtime dishes. So for dessert, the bridal party went to slice into their three different wedding cakes for guests to be served: vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate were the three flavors of cake, all made vegan style with no eggs, no wheat flour, and no processed sugar. The three cakes were all gorgeously designed with healthy ingredients and decorated by the best vegan pastry uh, chef in San Diego. Now, after dessert was served, all guests were advised to be quiet as the sacred mini orchestra played special tunes for the father daughter and mother son dance. There was a little bit of choreography to the dances, yet most of it was them simply sharing a love bond between each other as they danced to their own soul rhythm. Then special servers would hand each guest at the dinner table a custom made writing pen with an attractive green, gold, blue, and indigo colored peacock feather on it to sign the wedding book when they completed their wedding celebration dining experience. They were all advised that these special pens were theirs to keep as gifts to bring home with them. Then, once the wedding guest completed signing the wedding book with their own peacock feathered pen, they were all handed special journals to keep. So if a person felt like journaling in their own guest room quarters, they had the luxury of spending that quality time writing. So, as the sun was starting to set, the wedding party wrapped up their socializing with wedding guests. Wedding guests signed the wedding book with their peacock feathers and received their journals, and everyone headed back to their own rooms for the evening to digest the fabulous food and wedding day event experience. Catalina and Antonio were then blessed by their families as they headed off to their first time of sharing a bedroom suite together for their special wedding night. Catalina was gifted the most exquisite light rose pink silk nightgown to wear, while Antonia was gifted a light tannish goldish silk men's pajama to wear if they wanted something to drape around their physical bodies. Now, each their wedding suite was stocked with fresh mineral waters, teas, juices, and foods for a full 2 days supply so that they would be undisturbed for 2 full days uh, during their initial indoor honeymoon of togetherness. Now, during the week long celebrations, wedding guests were served meals from bamboo made dinnerware. They enjoyed tanning, swimming, luxury spa treatments uh, on property, and socializing, soaking in mineral hot springs waters, went on walks around town. They visited the local gift shops, engaged with relaxing restorative yoga sessions, and rested a lot. Now, Catalina and Antonio mostly stayed inside their honeymoon suite during the week, yet would make a few guest appearances with the guests as a newly wedded couple. The immediate family of Catalina and Antonio did most of the socializing with the wedding guests during the week as they enjoyed their stay too. Now, as the week concluded, wedding guests were shuttled off back to San Diego for all their travel arrangements, back to their own homes with the most fabulous stories to share regarding the week long wedding celebration time. The newly wedded couple and their family, they went back to Coronado Island to and stayed for one more week on the island before going to go live in Spain to ensure all the new Jim for Joy franchises were still going according to plan. Now, Catalina and Antonio were given their own together bedroom suite at the Royal Castle of Honda Reba. Now, they were both experiencing such love, support, and adornment for their time spent here on Earth. Until next. Closure. These beauty secrets for your soul, golden angelic wealth codes throughout this novel, are for you to remember, treasure, embrace, activate, and love. It's like a star seed being planted, then blossoming into a star sprout, then becoming a full star of your own inner and outer world of success. This is what planets are for. It is now time for you to be the star within your own glimmering diamond level planetary body of success and shine with the utmost radiant version of yourself, of who you are becoming daily with fabulousness and glory. With that, my lovely readers, I'm wrapping it up with a cute golden bow tie to make it the best day ever. I love you from the fullness of my heart. And this concludes part 2 for Beauty Secrets for Your Soul uh, Golden Angelic Wealth Codes, which is a novel by me, Michelle McMillionaires. And, excuse me, it meant to conclude part 6, section 2. And we've uh, delivered the entire book reading series for you. Enjoy. Um, for those who are listening uh, outside of Michelle McMillionaire School, please know you have an open invitation to become a member at any time. Love you.